For 5 years, I've been investigating the question of where good ideas come from. I think it's a problem that everyone is intrinsically interested in. We want to be more creative, we want to have better ideas, we want our organizations to be more innovative. I looked at this problem from the perspective of the environment in which we live. Which spaces have made history by generating extraordinary levels of creativity and innovation? I discovered that in all of these systems, there are recurring patterns that we come across over and over again, and that are crucial to creating media that are extraordinarily innovative. I called one of these patterns a slow guess. In other words, revolutionary ideas almost never come about in a moment of great insight or a sudden burst of inspiration. The most important ideas take a long time to evolve and spend a lot of time dormant and buried. It's only when ideas have been maturing for 2, 3, sometimes 10 or 20 years, that they become successful and useful in a certain way. This is partly because good ideas usually arise from the collision of two smaller hunches, which therefore form something bigger than themselves. In the history of innovation, it's common to see cases of someone having half an idea. The great story of the invention of the internet and Tim Berners-Lee. He worked for 10 years on this project, but at first he didn't have a complete vision of the new medium he would end up inventing. He started working on a side project that would help him organize his own data, but ended up discarding the project after a few years and started working on something else. It wasn't until 10 years later that the full vision of the internet emerged. This is how ideas come about, much more often than we might think. They need incubation time and spend a long time in this form of partial guessing. Another important thing when considering ideas in this way is that when they take shape in this state of hunch, they need to collide with other hunches. Generally, what turns a hunch into something extraordinary is another hunch that has been playing on someone else's mind. We have to think of ways to create systems that allow these hunches to come together and become something bigger than when they were independent parts. For example, this is why cafes during the Enlightenment and the Parisian salons of modernism were engines of creativity, because they created a space where ideas could mix and match and generate new forms. By looking at the problem of innovation from this perspective, it is possible to shed important light on the recent debate about what the internet has done to our brains. Are we getting worn out by the multifunctional, 24-hour connected lifestyle? For example, will this lead to less sophisticated ideas as we move away from the contemplative, slower and deeper state of reading? It's obvious that I love reading, but I think it's important to remember that the great driver of scientific innovation and technological innovation has always been the historic increase in connectivity and our ability to seek out other people with whom we can exchange ideas and borrow hunches from others, combine them with our own hunches, and turn them into something new. In my opinion, this has been more than anything else the prime mover of creativity and innovation over the last 600 or 700 years. Yes, it's true that we're more distracted, but something miraculous and wonderful has happened in the last 15 years. We have so many new ways of connecting and so many new ways of searching for and finding new people who have that missing piece to complete the idea we were working on, or of stumbling across some incredible new information that we can use to develop or improve our own ideas. That's the real lesson about where good ideas come from. Chance favors the connected mind. Where do good ideas come from?